How's it going, everybody? So today I thought I would decide to show you my chest day routine. So this is just this day. I usually do different variations of different exercises, but I always start out chest day with, of course, chest on the bench. So what I like to do is warm up with the bar, and then I move right into 135 for a set of 10, and then I go up to 155 for a set of 5 to 10, and then I go to 185. Do 2 to 3, and then if I'm feeling good that day, I go to 205, and then I would go into different max for that day depending on how I'm feeling, which would be 215. And today 215 went very, very well, and I did it for a set of 1 with the spot. I do back off sets with 185 for 3x5, so I would do 3 reps and then rest, 3 reps then rest, 3 reps and rest, and so forth until I hit 5 sets in total. And then I do as much as I can with 135 on the bar, just repping it out, and then I'll put the band on it for some resistance. So with these bands, I really don't know how much resistance is with the bar and the band all together, but it just feels good on the chest. It's a constant tension you'll get during the chest, so all the blood flows into the chest muscle and you get a nice pump through it. So if after 135 with the band, I'll move up to 155 with the band. And other than that, I just keep going until I just feel a nice contraction in the chest. And once I feel good, I don't really have a certain plan of how I use the band. I just keep going until I feel I'm done with it necessarily. With these workouts, I'm never really into a certain order besides benching first, because there's always different people doing different exercises with different machines or different cables, like you see the ones behind me. So it all just depends on the timing of what other people are doing in the gym. So moving on, I just did some tricep work with the French press, and I just think that it feels a nice contraction. I know people are going to say that, you know, that's not how you do a skull crusher. I'm like, I realize that it's not a throw crusher, it's not a skull crusher, it's the French press, and I feel this a lot more in my triceps than I do the neck crusher or the skull crusher. And going heavier and heavier with these French presses is that your elbows are supposed to be tucked in a tad more, and that way you lengthen the triceps a lot more. But you know, once you go pretty heavy on these, it's okay to just keep going with the weight and peek your elbows out a tad. It's alright, you don't need to worry about all that. It's still, if it's a nice contraction in your triceps, it's all good in the books. Moving on to incline dumbbell press, I like to do these just because it's a different angle for the chest to be manipulated, and as you can see in the bench, it's barely raised to the point where it's incline. But I like to think that the higher the bench goes, the more shoulder action you're going to put into the body. So I really don't like doing too much incline work just because my shoulder's a little messed up. Moving on to the next exercise of the workout, you go with dumbbell flies with an inclined bench. This is a nice way to open up the chest and get the blood flowing into the chest muscle, and it's just a nice contraction altogether. It's not really that big of a complicated exercise, but it really is nice to get that contraction to the chest. And of course, the last thing that in the books that everybody needs to do is calves. Calf day almost every day. There's a policy in the gym where you don't need to use a Smith machine ever for any exercise, but of course, you know, the calves, they gotta grow, guys. That's how you're gonna become a bodybuilder. So just one exercise that you have to do on the Smith machine. I know it's a burden, but calves are a must. So I just use the Smith machine just for calves and only for calves. I really don't find any use for the Smith machine unless I'm cheating myself on any other exercise besides calves. So all of these exercises in total are just some of the things that I like to do for chest day. And of course, it's not something that I do every single chest day, but it is just nice to have different options and directions you can go throughout your workouts. So I hope you just picked up one thing or another on all of these exercises that I showed you, and it's just something nice to have back in your toolbox if you ever need it for another chest day, tricep day, or even calf day for that matter. So I hope you guys picked up something that you could use in your own workouts, and of course I will see you all in the next one.